Hello, welcome to day 5 of Camp NanoWriMo. I am back home, as you can tell, well, at my apartment home, not my home. I am happy to be back. Today was so productive so far. It is only like 10, I think. I don't have my phone near me, but I think it's like 10 right now. I have done so much today. I got back around 7 and I jumped straight into editing yesterday's videos, and then I went ahead and did some work for my client again, and I made her like this little brand mood board just so that we can kind of get a picture of what her brand is gonna look like, and it was gorgeous. I was like, oh, I love it. All of the images, all of the colors. I am obsessed with her brand design, so I am looking forward to seeing how that all culminates and turns out. Yeah, I was just able to really get through everything this morning. However, I did not make time for writing, so that will come later. My scheduled writing time for today starts at 3 p.m. and goes until pretty much the entire night, depending on when I decide to break and go do other things. I do have a social plan for tonight. I'm going to hang out with my friends. Those are my plans for today. Oh, I also get to work in the garden today, and I am really looking forward to that because it is like 70 degrees right now, and that is gonna be amazing. Like, there is literally nothing better than being out there in good weather with friends. We all just get together and we garden. We are working on a community farm right now, and so we are planting new seeds. Today I think we're going to be planting seedlings and getting those started. I know that we have peanuts, we have squash, we have like cantaloupe. I don't know, we've got a whole thing, like we've got a whole lot of things going on and going into that garden. None of us really know what we're doing. We're not farmers, we're not agricultural people. We live in the city, and there just happens to be this little plot of land that is the perfect size for an urban garden, and this woman basically gave her land to us and said, you know, create whatever you want from it. Plant seeds, build a community garden, go to the farmer's market, and that's what we've been doing. We've just been really throwing this together in a impromptu and fun manner, and it has just been a really good time volunteering in that little community garden, and I am excited to see and watch everything grow over the summer. I also have a contemporary dance class that I'm going to in about 30 minutes. I need to go make breakfast before I go to that, so this will be probably the morning update. I'll probably see you guys after the garden. Hopefully I'll take some cute little gardening b-roll footage and you guys will be able to see that, but if not, I will see you at around 3 p.m. which is when I'm going to be sitting down to write. Let's go, let's do this, let's have another amazing, productive, fun, glorious day to be grateful for. See you when I see you.
They're my average, but not with these two. And yet I feel like these two are the best things I've ever written.
So I'm listening to Becca C. Smith over there while I make my breakfast to get ready for class. This is such a messy pan. I just made fake eggs, vegan eggs in it, and then some sausage. Yeah, so I'm going to finish watching this video. It's been so fun catching up on what everybody is doing in AuthorTube during Camp Nano. I am just having so much fun with everybody's daily vlogs, and this is such a highlight of my day, just sitting down and learning from all of you other creators and just watching you all do your freaking thing. You guys are so magical. I love you all so much. So yes, I'm gonna go finish eating and then go to class. Like, don't come over here if you're not going to feed me. Oh my gosh, I look insane right now. My apologies. I don't know if you guys can see it, but my nails are busted. I just got back from the garden and we saw this giant worm. It was the size of a gummy worm. I imagined that they did get that big, but I had never seen one that fat. I will probably put a picture of it here. It was huge. It was so cute though. I wanted to save it and like bring it to shelter, but like there was no way that it was going to be able to like we had just packed the soil, and I was like, this poor baby is not gonna have a chance to like burrow or anything like that, so I felt kind of bad, but Fingers crossed he'll find his way to a safe home before the sun really gets him, because it is hot. It is hot. Like, that's why I'm sweating and like gross and oily right now. It's hot. So I'm gonna go take a shower. I feel like I've been rolling around in the mud. We did get a lot of things done. We planted some bean bushes, we did some weeding, we watered some of the new beds that we created. Yeah, that was mostly it for today. Normally I am content to stay out there for like hours, but today it was exhausting. I could feel like every ounce of myself being drained by the sun. Hi, hello, welcome to my bathroom. I got this new soap from one of my family members, I think, or like a family friend. My mom didn't actually tell me who it's from, so I'm going to open it. It smells so good, and from what I've seen it looks very pretty, so I wanted to show you all. Look how pretty these are. Oh my gosh, it's got little like rose patterns. It is pomegranate scented, and I almost said flavored. It's pomegranate scented. It is so pretty. Like, the details on these little flowers are precious. It looks like fairy soap. I feel like I will be bathing as a fairy for the next few days, and that makes me very happy. And they smell delicious. They smell like straight up pomegranate. Oh, that's so exciting. I'm gonna have to send a huge thank you to them for this beautiful gift. I just got some really good news. In my last video, I was setting up a meeting with a web designer for one of my clients. They had their meeting today and they loved each other. They clicked so well, and I'm just like, yay! About to do some multitasking like a pro. Gonna do some cooking while also getting some words in between. So yeah, we'll see how this turns out. I actually tend to write really well in the kitchen. I love sitting on the kitchen floor, getting some words in. Trisha Paytas. Gosh, saying the kitchen floor literally just reminded me of her. I forgot she existed. Like, not to be mean, but like, is she okay? Like, what's going on with her? If anybody knows, if anybody keeps up with like actual YouTube things, let me know. I hope she's okay. That girl, she's a lot. Like, she's a lot. She was really going through it. Trisha Paytas, what a character. What a character. I don't remember the last time that I checked in, so I just am going to recap the things that happened in the past like 2 hours, because I think that'll catch you all up. I went to go hang out with my friends earlier today. We went to just sit outside and catch up and talk about our highs and lows for the days, and just spend some time talking together, and especially enjoying the beautiful freaking weather that we had. It was nice once the sun kind of started to go down. Like I said, it was hot as heck when I was gardening outside today. Like, I thought I was gonna pass out. Thankfully, it was a lot less hot. I feel like I've changed outfits like 5 times today. Like, this is not what I was wearing when I started this vlog. I don't even remember what I was wearing when I started this vlog. I've changed outfits at least like 4 times. That's so bad. It's like that's why my laundry is always overflowing. My goodness. I finished reading The Cruel Prince, and that is what I actually wanted to come on here and talk to you all about. Not about my clothes, but it's okay. I enjoyed this book. Is that a bug? Is that a bug? Okay, I'm not convinced that that's a bug, so I'm just gonna let it live for now. Anyways, I have to echo a lot of what other people said about this book. One of the first things that people were saying was that the world building in this book was not what they were expecting, and that it fell flat for them. Which is funny, because if you watched my last video, I said that I actually really enjoyed the world building. I thought that it was done really well, until I finished the book, reflected on it, and then heard somebody else's thoughts, and then I was like, oh, I get it. So one thing about this book is that it is very classic fairy. It's very traditional, fairy folklore, draws a lot from Celtic mythology and fairy tales and folk tales. So if you are into Celtic mythology and Celtic folklore, even Scottish folklore, you're going to recognize a lot of the lore that exists in this story. For someone who does not know that stuff, and for someone who is not familiar with fairy folklore, you are going to be lost in this story. Unlike other fairy books, the first one that comes to mind, of course, is the 𝙒𝙤𝙤𝙤 series. This book is straight up fairy. She really doesn't do her own world building. A lot of the world building and the things that exist in this story are borrowed from mythology, to the point where like there's really not much that is her own besides for like the naming of the places and like the way that the world is laid out and the courts. But other than that, like there's really nothing original here. I personally didn't mind that because that's something that I have been craving. I am like a huge fairy nerd. Like seriously guys, it's not even funny. I love folklore. I love mythology. I wrote a whole research paper on fairy folklore. I also did a whole presentation on it. So I am very much a fan of just like classical fairy mythology, and I don't get that a lot in books like 𝙒𝙤𝙤𝙤, because 𝙒𝙤𝙤𝙤 does take the liberty of creating this world that borrows off of a lot of the things that are also borrowed in this book, but completely twists it into its own really beautiful, amazing thing. And I love that Sarah J Maas does that, and I think that because of that it does make her a bit of a better world builder, and that the world building in that book is a little bit better than the world building in this book. But for people like me who are maybe craving and really want to see a world that is richly built on fairy lore and tradition, then this book is going to be delicious. You are going to enjoy the world, you're gonna love it, and you're gonna soak it up, because that's what I did. As soon as I opened this, I was like, she's speaking my language. I understand all of the lore that is in it. I understand all of the mythology. I deeply relate to all of these things, and I love studying them and reading about them and learning about them, and I don't get to do that in a lot of other books. What she could have done better, even if she wanted to keep the traditional mythology of fairy, she could have given some explanation behind why things were the way they were, right? Because someone who doesn't nerd out over fairy folklore is not gonna know like all of these different little themes and motifs within the story. Like there will be things that they're like what is that? Like why does that happen? How does this make sense? Like there are a lot of questions that I didn't personally ask, just because I am so familiar with this world already that it felt like I was stepping back into a place that I had already been, and that's why I really loved it. And I think that overall the world building was my favorite part, and just maybe I shouldn't say the world building, but the world, because again, it wasn't really world building, it was world retelling, reforming, I don't know. But that was my favorite part of this book, was just being in this world. I am interested in seeing more. I will probably read the next book. I'm going to give it a 3.5. Overall, it was really enjoyable. I don't have a ton of bad things to say about it, but I also don't think it's my favorite book on the bookshelf. But I would say that it is worth reading. I do not hate it as much as I thought I would hate it. I don't think that it is as bad as everyone is like saying that it is. Not everyone. There are a lot of people who do enjoy this book, but there are a lot of people who like hate it. And I don't think that it's like hateable. It's really not awful. My next book, let me grab it for you. It's going to be this baby. I've heard so many good things about this book. I know that it's a favorite of a lot of my favorite booktubers, so I am excited to read this one. I am going to spend the rest of my evening writing. I'm going to film a little bit of it if I get the chance, and then I'm going to edit this vlog and go to sleep. I got a really bad headache a couple of hours ago, and then I realized that it was probably because I stayed up until like 2 a.m. the other night, and then had to wake up at 5 to come back to my apartment. So I am running off of 3 hours of sleep, and I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Like that explains why I look dead right now. So I still have to get my word count goal for today. I'm like 300 away from it, so that's gonna take like 10-15 minutes for me to just whip out, and I will probably go to bed after that, or I might stay up and do a writing session. We will see. If I do, I will film it, and if not, I hope that you all have a beautiful, amazing evening, and I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Have a beautiful night. Peace out.